Alright guys, we told you in our previous video when we took this out for the first time that we were getting a bunch of parts in for the KRX 1000. Got my lighted whips in today. I just mounted them up here just to see how they looked and how the mount was. We'll install those in a different video because I've got rock lights in the house to go with them. And the way these install, you've got a hot wire that there's a hot and a ground terminal right in here somewhere, and you can just run your hot and ground right there. But the problem I found with that, like on my Harley, I mounted accent lights on it and I just hooked it straight to the hot and ground because you turn them on and off with the remote, so you think when they're off, they're off. The problem with that is that if you have it hooked to a constant hot like that, that receiver, in this case, this receiver right here, this is what your remote will go off of, is constantly drawing power, waiting for the remote to tell it what to do. And if you wait, if it sets for 2 or 3 weeks, you find out you have a dead battery. So we're going to route the power up through, and I've got a couple of rocker switches, so when we mount these and actually do it right, we'll run our power up to the front, a wire from the front back to here. We'll do it that way, and so we can turn it completely off so that this receiver isn't drawing power and we don't end up with a dead battery. But like I said, I just mounted these up to see what they look like on here. I ordered 4-footers, and out where we go, you have to have at least 6 feet out at Little Sahara. These are well over that. They're over 8 feet from the ground, so we're good with the 4-footers. And I just stuck them in here to kind of see what they'd look like and how cool I'm going to look out at the dunes. So what we're doing today is we're mounting this tailgate. So it comes. Let me turn you around here a little bit. So this is the tailgate that I ordered. There's several different styles. You can order plastic ones that have a gate that opens, where you can put things in, you know, a tow strap, maybe some tools or whatever. I kind of figured I'd rather have more room back here in this little bed area than to have a box on there. And they're really thick, you know, you mount it in there, it's like that thick. So those kind I've noticed are pretty flush right here with the back of this, so most of that's sticking in there, which is going to take up more room inside of there. This one actually extends outward, so it goes on like this. So it actually extends out this way and gives you a little extra room in there. Now, we'll show you here. So the way this mounts is right here like this. Now you have these 2 existing bolts here that hold this back part of your roll cage on each side. So you pull those out and then just reinstall them over the top of this, and that's what holds this part. And then down here you've got these bolts where your little tie downs are. So you pull these and your tie down, and then it came with these longer bolts with I think that's a 3/16. Let's see. Yeah, that's a 3/16 Allen head. So we've got 2 3/16 Allen head bolts. It also comes with these spacers, because if you'll notice, this here is down in this little hole here, and when this is on, it's going to sit up here flush. So we need these spacers to put underneath, and then I'm gonna put my, it doesn't say anything about it in the instructions, but I'm gonna put my little tie downs here back on top up here, so I still have my tie downs. And I think the reason why they give you these 3/16 Allen head bolts is, I would imagine they're longer. They're longer than these. These probably, when you try to put it through here, it's not going to be long enough to make it in there. So I'm sure that's why the longer bolts. So I'm hoping that even though the bolt, you know, that we have longer bolts, that I'll be able to put that little tie down on top of here and still keep my tie down. So let's get to pulling some bolts out and putting them back in. Let's get this thing mounted up and see how it looks. So you're going to need a metric 17 for these bolts here. Well, they had them tightened down there pretty good. So far, I'm real happy with this machine as far as I've found no rattles or, you know, or anything like that in it. So, hear that? That's pretty tight. Wow. As tight as this thing is coming out of here, this might be kind of an ordeal getting this back in there. It feels like maybe these holes might not be lined up as well as they should be. There we go. That one is free. It almost felt like they had some Loctite on that, but I don't see any, so they just had it torqued down in there pretty good, I guess. But it's like tight the whole way out, so that's why I was thinking maybe. Oh yeah, see? So that bar wants to come down on us, and it's making this nut, or it wants to go up on us actually, so it's making this bolt kind of stiff to get out of here. I may have to get some help from my brother to get that back in there. And let's get this side here. Again, pretty tight. They torque them down pretty good at the factory. I hope all the bolts and nuts on this thing are torqued down well like that, but like I said, I've found no rattles or anything in it thus far, so knock on wood, right? Man, you hear that little pop with that little squeak in there, and you know that thing is tight. Yeah, see, I'm feeling the same pressure on this one as I was on the other, so this roll bar is again going to pull up when this is loose. So I'm going to have to work to get this bolt out of here. Or maybe not so bad on this side. Let's see. Well, a little bit, but not quite as bad as the other side was. But there we have it. Okay guys, so these factory bolts that will be taken out of here are they're going to be a metric 12. Ooh, that one was loose right off the bat. That's not good. I mean, that wasn't tight at all. I could have taken that out with my fingers. Now there's a little bit of a spacer deal here that was already in there. And then this here is probably 1/8 of an inch thick, folded over. So, now the directions don't say. There's 2 washers here. One that went down inside, and then this larger one that sits on top. Or maybe yeah, that's how it went. This one, this smaller one sat down inside of the detent there, and this larger one on top. Now the directions don't say anything about reinstalling those, so let's see. It just says to put the 4 original screws back in. So the 4 original screws, and then it says to use the 2 that were supplied. So how deep? See, that doesn't fit. So maybe we need this washer to be underneath this, I think, and then that goes on top of it. Yep, that's that comes out right flush with the you can see I put my hand across there, and that, so you have to put this silver washer back in, and we leave this larger black one out apparently, and then that will go on top of there. Let's get this other one out of here. Hopefully it's a little tighter. Well, wasn't much tighter, but it was a little tighter than the first one. This one seems to be a little stiff the whole way out. It happens, body parts and things don't fit perfectly, and so you have a little bit of pressure somewhere in it. Well, there's our tie down. There's our black washer, and we'll leave that one right where it is. Put that back, that in there like so. So you can see these are not quite, maybe 1/8 of an inch. It's not a whole lot longer, but it is a little bit longer. But I really want to put these little tie downs back on there with it, so we're going to try it that way, and if we don't have enough thread to reach it properly, then I guess we forego the tie downs. We'll still have the ones up in there's 2 up in the front corners of this little bed area too, so we still have those. And I guess if all else failed, we could strap right to the end gate to make that work if we can't use these back here. So, but okay, let's reset you here and get that gate set up here and see if we can get it on. Now they didn't give me any washers with these, but if we can get our little tie downs here to still go on there, we won't, that'll act as a washer, you know. Well, I don't know, that doesn't leave a whole lot of space to tighten this down. It probably will be enough, because there's really nothing, this doesn't really hold much of anything. It's just, you know, it's not like it's a critical body part here or anything. I mean, it's just kind of wow. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to use our tie downs or not. That doesn't allow a whole lot of room to tighten these down. Oh yeah, I think there's plenty. It was probably just leaning back a little bit. So I don't want to tighten those completely up yet until we get this until we get our bolt started in here. I brought a little cheater along with me here, and we'll see if maybe we can't pry that down here enough to get it to fit. I think that took, but I'm gonna have to run and get a longer extension. I'll be right back. Okay, so I can reach this now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it to start without somebody to maybe help me pry on this a little bit. Yeah. I believe we've got to pry it up a little bit. Let's see. Almost. So the fit isn't exactly perfect on this thing. And I'm not getting it. Well, all right, guys. After quite a bit of cussing and swearing and banging knuckles, we got 3 of these in here properly and tightened down. However, this one right here, I believe, is cross-threaded in there. I'm gonna have to go, I'll probably pull this bolt back out and see if I have a die that big that I can rethread that. And if I do, I'll rethread the bolt and make another attempt to get that in there straight. I mean, it's solid. I can yank on that. There's no movement whatsoever. That's never going to go anywhere. But that just looks terrible being in there that far, but I can't move it another quarter turn. I mean, I just can't. That's it. You know, it's not going to go anymore. So outside of that one bolt, fairly straightforward install. The problem is there's pressure on this roll cage bar here, and when you pull these out, it moves off center of the holes a little bit, and then that makes it hard. You've got to stick a screwdriver like in one hole and try to pry the roll bar back in line. But then you've also got, you know, this plate here from the tailgate that has to line up. Kind of a pain, I'm not gonna lie. If I had it to do over again, and I may still end up loosening all these back up and doing that just to make sure everything is threaded in there right. If I had it to do all over again, I'd probably go up here and loosen those. You know, loosen those roll cage bolts up there a little bit on both sides, and possibly come up here on the front and loosen these up here on each side, just to give that cage a little bit of wiggle room, you know, so that I could get that to line up easier. I didn't think I'd have to go through all of that. But like I said, we got the other 3 in nice and tight and straight. Just cross-threaded this one here, and even though I know it's never going to go anywhere, I don't like the look of that bolt being in there cockeyed like that, and not tightened down all the way. So I'll see if I can, I'll probably pull that back out, and we'll see if we can retap the threads on it. If I can't, I'll probably just go down to Kawasaki and get that bolt, because I want it to be the you know, the exact bolt that goes in there. I don't want to go to like you know, Home Depot or something and get a black bolt or something that doesn't really match. Although I'm sure no one would really notice it but me, but kind of picky about that kind of stuff. So there it is, guys. We installed the aftermarket tailgate. I can't remember the exact manufacturer of it, but you'll see these if you're looking for one. You know, you can go online, Google these KRX 1000 tailgates, and they come up with a whole slew of different tailgates and sellers and what have you, where you can get them. So I looked at some of those plastic ones, and like I say, the one plastic one, if you look inside here, this one here extends out, and actually it gives you more room overall in your little bed area, the way it sticks out. And they make some that come right to here, so you mount it in here. It, again, like I say, it's flush out here on this part, but it goes straight across and it's deep and comes in to right here. And so all of this space here, a good 8 inches or so of space, is taken up just by this big thick tailgate. And then it's got right here, you know, a little latch that you can open, but it's all plastic. And I'm just afraid that over time, you know how plastic is. I mean, for years all you could get was a metal toolbox to put in the back of your, behind the cab of your pickup. You know how you have those toolboxes that go right behind your cab, and then they came out with these plastic ones with the kind of reinforced, you know, like a thin metal plate in the bottom and what have you. And after they got a few years old, you'd start seeing the lids were warping. If you stood behind the truck and looked at the tailgate, the whole toolbox was like had a big swale in them. And the metal ones never did that, so might rust out over several years' time if you let a bunch of water get in it. But they stayed straight and true, and the plastic ones just kind of. So I really didn't want to put a plastic end gate on this thing. And as far as the little cubby box in the back, you know, that goes, you turn the little deal and open it up. I mean, it was tall and wide, you know, only like 6 inches deep or so. And I don't really know what all you would put in there. You know, like I said, maybe a tow strap and a small toolbox or something, but I like this one here better. You can, I can still, when I get my spare, of course, when I get a spare, I'm probably going to get that rack that goes up here where your tire sits up here. Then I can still put my cooler and things like that in here. So, and then we got our lighted whips on there. I'm going to take them back off. Like I said, I just wanted to see what they looked like. Because I'm gonna wire those and the rock lights that I have in the house at the same time. So I only have to tear that center console out once, because we're going to run all these wires, try to hide them as best we can. And you see this center console here part here actually comes out pretty easily. There's 2 screws in the bottom of the cup holders, and then you've just got a bunch of these little these little plastic push rivets that you got to pop out. And then there's a couple of screws right here. I haven't looked into it real deep yet, but you've got 5 empty spaces here in your dash for more rocker switches. The only rocker switch we've got in this main dash is our high-low power switch here for slow crawling. And then you've got 2 more extras over here. So all you've got is your light switch there for your headlights and parking lights and what have you. So I'm going to pull this out, and we'll try to do a real clean job, run our wires through here. And like I say, that way I can turn the power completely off to that receiver, and it won't be drawing power all the time from my battery. Because like I say, I did that on my Harley. I wired it directly to the battery, thinking, well, as long as I don't turn them on, you know, but that receiver's always drawing a small amount of power because it has to be powered up for your remote to work. So it does drain your battery over time. My son put these lighted whips on his Razor, and it does the same thing. If it sits for, you know, 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, batteries will be drained on it. The battery will be drained, and he'll have to jump it and charge the battery and everything. So, because he wired them direct just like I did on my Harley. So we're not going to wire them direct. We're going to run them through a switch, shut that power off to that receiver, and that way we won't be draining our battery. So, well, there you go, guys. New tailgate on there. I like it. I like the look. Gives me a little more storage room in the main bed, which I would rather have than a little bit of storage in a big thick plastic box there. So we've got plenty of storage there. And there's a bunch of storage behind the seat in these things too. So it's crazy. You've got the seats in this thing move 6 inches. You can extend them 6 inches forward and back. But look at all that room that's behind there. I mean, there's 2 cup holders behind the seats where that console extends back. But, you know, you've got a lot of room back there that you could put a toolbox, you know, duffel bag, whatever. So I didn't feel like I needed to have the storage box type of end gate on here. And like I say, I like the look of this metal one better. It'll keep my stuff in there. You've got 4 tie downs in here anyways. You can tie your cooler, your toolbox, whatever you want down in there. And so yeah, I went with this one. It was a little cheaper too, but that's not why I did it. I did it because I just like the look better. And I'm just not real big on the plastic boxes like that, because like I say, over time they warp in the weather and what have you, and pretty soon, and I'm almost positive that little plastic switch on there bouncing around and rubbing, and you know, over time, not switch but latch, over time I think that thing might fail, and then you'd end up with a bungee cord wrapped around that thing or something, because the latch is broken on it. And you know, this is just a solid end gate, no frills, no tricks, no gimmicks. It's just a metal end gate. Doesn't open and close or anything. It's just there to keep your stuff in. So all right guys, next video maybe we'll get these whips and rock lights put in. I want to wait until I have more time. That's going to be kind of a lengthy install to get all that wiring run and those toggles put in. And I'm going to put a separate toggle for the lighted whips, and then a separate toggle for the rock lights, because they're the same way. They come with a remote. You can hook them directly to the power, turn them on and off with the remote, but as long as they're hooked to the power, that receiver for the remote is constantly going to be drawing juice. So both of those have to be run through a switch. So that's going to be a little bigger project, guys. We might do that this weekend. I've got more stuff coming for this, the roof, the windshield. We've got a pipe. I got an email yesterday that the pipe had shipped. So we'll be getting rid of this massive, ugly factory pipe out of there, and mount us up a pretty black and chrome Trinity Racing pipe. Should be here in a couple of days, I would think. If it shipped yesterday, it shouldn't be 3 or 4 days. I'm not sure where it comes from, but anyway, so we've got those projects yet to do also. So thanks again for being here, guys. Don't forget, I'm at like 415 subscribers. When I hit 500, we're going to do an EDC knife giveaway with a sheath. So, and I'll make the knife. It'll be custom made. I'll make the sheath. It'll be made out of 5160. Should have a Rockwell of about 57 to 60, somewhere in there. It'll be a very good, very edge retention type blade, and with a very nice handmade sheath. But you got to be subscribed if you want to win it. If you're not subscribed, then I can't put you in the drawing because you're not subscribed. So got to subscribe if you want to be in that drawing for that knife when I reach 500 subscribers. I don't know how long that'll take, but you got to be subscribed. So thanks, guys. Take care of yourself. Be careful when you're working in your shop or working on your side-by-side or out playing with your toys. Always use your safety gear. Oh, that's another thing. We got a set of shoulder harnesses coming for this. It'll be another video. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next video.